Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. Today's video, we got some of the most unsettling TikToks you're going to see on the internet today. Before we get into that video, y'all, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We need to be in this algorithm, y'all. Segovia, the K fam, we need those hundreds. We need to be up there with the big dogs, I feel. What do you guys think? Hit that like button. Let's get there, y'all. But enough with the chit chat. Let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
That's a spell circle. This piece is a spell circle. That's magic. Oh, you engage in magic and witchcraft? How the f do you know that? Oh, you industry people are. You know what that is. Damn. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but this guy's going to hell. How the
These streamers are something else, y'all.
Everyone in your industry knows that? We're gonna have to expose this man. This is a Freemason right here.
Yes, you need to find a chicken.
Whoa!
Chicken.
Do that blood sack chicken. What's that? The Brumhilda. I know what that is.
Exactly.
Where are you from? Where are you from? You do it too? You guys are so. I don't roll with these guys, bro. These are dark arts.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, I know, but you're live. You
Don't
said
tell
it live.
nobody.
What about this one?
Like I don't understand. I can only imagine my younger self that didn't know the game and would see. If I was young, I'd be watching all these streamers, y'all. I'd be watching them. I'd be like in tuned in them every day. If I was younger, if I was my younger self, y'all, because I wasn't awake, I didn't know, and I can only imagine how bad they would make me feel about myself. Like, man, look at them hanging out with the guys and drinking, smoking, and laughing, and everything's good. They got hot girls, they got the fancy cars. I want to be just like them, not knowing that they're not friends. They're just on there because they're making money together. If this guy gets called out for something and he gets canceled, they ain't gonna hit his line like, "Hey, you doing all right?" You know. So these streamers are becoming the new celebrities, y'all, and it's annoying.
You weren't supposed to hear this. Every system has a name. Democracy, socialism, capitalism. But the one you're living in right now, they never told you its name. Because the moment you know it, you'll see every single move they make. They've replaced landowners with data lords, armies with algorithms, and the taxes you pay are hidden inside every tap, every swipe, and every decision. They've built something I call technocratic feudalism, and inside it, they run a program called manufactured friction. It's the reason why you're never allowed peace for long. The reason why there's always a crisis, a feud, or a fight. Chaos isn't a mistake, it's the business model. But chaos alone isn't enough. They've turned your life into compliance capitalism, where you don't just pay for access, you have to prove obedience. Every border, every transaction, every digital checkpoint is a test. Are you still following the script? And if you think this is just your country, you've already lost. Because this is corporate colonialism 2.0. Nations are bought with debt, governments are just regional offices, and your president isn't the CEO, he's customer service. And at the top you have a few root access holders. Below them you have protocol enforcers, and at the bottom is us. End users in their sandbox running side quests while they collect the gold. And here is the part you're not meant to realize. The fight was never between left and right, race and race, man and woman. It is between the owners of the system and everyone trapped inside it. And the moment enough of us stop playing their game, the system collapses. That's why they'll keep you distracted until your last breath. So now you know the name. And you can never unknow it.
I mean, that's what they're doing. It's us versus them, and they got us fighting us. Really damn good. Really good. They got us fighting us. Every 4 years, we're really fighting us. That's what they do. They're geniuses, y'all. They're geniuses. And they be getting away with it from the beginning of time. And I think the day that the tide shift, they're going to hit that eject button. They're blast off, and we're done. That's what's going to happen, y'all. New civilization starts over. these guys run that civilization for another, I don't know, 10, 20,000 years. And it's just an ongoing process.
The entire story of Harry Potter is actually based on masonry, and J.K. Rowling admitted this herself. Back in 2017, J.K. Rowling was featured on a BBC documentary about Harry Potter for the 20th year anniversary. During the documentary, she revealed to the world where the symbol of the Deathly Hallows come from. J.K. Rowling claims that while she was drawing the character Professor Sprout, she was watching a movie about masonry called The Man Who Would Be King. During the movie, this Masonic symbol was shown right as she received a call that her mother had passed away. If we look at the symbol, we can see it's a Masonic all-seeing eye. It's an obvious Masonic symbol, and there's no way to hide that. She claims that 20 years later, she realized the symbol of the Deathly Hallow was the Masonic symbol she saw in the movie, The Man Who Would Be King, when her mother passed away.
And it's from an old Rudyard Kipling story. And the Masonic symbol is very important in that movie. And it was literally 20 years later that I looked at the sign of the Deathly Hallows and realised how similar they were. When I saw the movie again and saw this Masonic symbol, I sort of went cold all over, and I thought, is that why the Hallows symbol is what it is? And I've got it on some deep subconscious level. They are connected.
Don't forget that they found $1 trillion missing from the United States budget, and that's the same exact amount of money that they used in the show Paradise to build an underground city in the fucking mountains to escape a nuclear holocaust. But all of that got swept under the rug.
Microsoft laying off 3,160 people. Indeed and Glassdoor laying off 1,300 workers. Biotech laying off 25% of their staff. Moderna is laying off 10% of its staff, but it's estimating to have less than 5,000 employees by the end of this year. Amazon cutting hundreds of jobs from its AWS cloud services. Walmart laying off over 1,500 from its corporate offices. 130 truck drivers are being laid off from Kroger. Another 200 corporate employees are being laid off from Kroger as well. Claire's is closing all of its stores after it filed for bankruptcy. They're estimating to close down about 800 stores nationwide. Well, Disney is going to be laying off hundreds of people too. And as soon as Paramount is done with this merger with Skydance, yeah, they're gonna cut so many jobs that it's gonna save them $2 billion. Are we great yet, America? This man is destroying our country right in front of our faces.
A new study shows that Gen Z is drinking less than millennials. And it's like, no shit. Can you imagine if they found a way to drink more? Oh my God. I mean, we would really have a problem.
It's such a trip, y'all, that I used to be a drinker. Like, I used to slam them. Not really liquor, but beer. Beer was my thing. I love beer. I still love beer. Like, I'll drink those non-alcoholic beers, but I used to slam them, y'all. And it's just, I never thought there'd be a day. I always wanted it. I never thought there'd be a day where I wouldn't have alcohol. I wouldn't crave it. I wouldn't like, it's Friday night, I need to, or we're on vacation, I need to have a beer, or, you know, we're having this barbecue, like I have to drink. Like, that's how it used to be. It's just such a trip, y'all. And if I can do it, anyone can do it, y'all.
Remember when they told us that they couldn't raise minimum wage because if they raised minimum wage, then the cost of everything else would change and your burger would be too expensive? And so minimum wage stayed exactly the same for 16 years, but the cost of everything increased anyway. And the people on top just got richer and richer and richer, like exponentially richer. And now we can't pay our bills. Just interesting.
But we're still eating those burgers.
Y'all see this face that I'm about to drop a truth bomb on you, so you need to tune in. So Salma Hayek, a Mexican actress and film producer, is an alleged witch. Y'all, listen to what we all about to hear, and shout out to the Controversy 7 YouTube channel. Let me stop talking and play this clip. Because this stuff in Helly Weird is not false. It's true. Lee Daniels said it too, that he do this. Why?
They eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true. So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets. It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that. Freaking me out, man. Because you spent your life in the entertainment business, so I think you have some authority on this. So many kids that I was in mental institutions with over the years, they are all from those cults. And they've covered it all up. They've covered it all up. And, I
told you that every single day kids go to school, they become less intelligent. The fact is, there is so much more than just one type of intelligence. And while school can make you more academically intelligent, it can teach you physics, algebra, calculus. It is diminishing the children's creative intelligence. It is teaching them to think a certain way, to go down a certain path in life. It is telling them, go to high school, get a diploma. Go to a good college, find a stable job. And if you don't do that, you won't be successful. How did I, a straight C student, start a technology company at the age of 16? It must be something that can't be measured by academic intelligence alone. I still think I'm the only Asian kid in the world that doesn't understand math. And if there's one message I want you to take away from everything I've said, it's this. No one has ever changed the world by doing what the world has told them to do.
Well, they say CEOs don't have college degrees, but they hire people with college degrees.
Kinda can. But there are 0 clouds out right now. This is above Green Bay, Wisconsin. I just walked outside about 2 minutes ago, and I have no clue what the hell this thing is.
Someone's gonna say it's like a satellite behind clouds.
It's
There's
a
no way.
bright spot in the center. It's slowly moving away.
Wow.
Not at the speed of a comet or satellite, because those move a lot faster across the night sky.
It's way brighter than like a plane.
I mean,
That is
could it be a
moving.
helicopter? This is weird.
Oh no, it's like disappearing.
This year, 72% of the world is under authoritarian rule. They crush democratic institutions from within. They don't stay in their countries. They then ally globally, and that's where we begin to see the power shifts. Time is ticking. If we do not act when we can, we will lose free will.
I mean, they're slowly doing it.
Are we gonna fall off the cliff? Will democracy survive? Will fascism win?
Like, I don't think they're gonna be in subways beating the hell out of people. They're just gonna do it. They're gonna do it slowly but surely. Like, look what's coming up. I mean, they're planning on banning TikTok because we can't. Us as Americans can't look at TikTok on our phone. They're banning, phones in school. They're banning. You got to start showing your ID on here, or you're not allowed to use this on social media, YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. So they're slowly doing these things. Maybe 2020 was a test. Like, you're not allowed to go outside. You're not allowed to go to restaurants. You're not allowed to go to the movies. You're not allowed to go to the clubs. You're not allowed to go, to work. You got to stay home. And there was no uprising, really. Well, there was some in LA, like people were going crazy, but it wasn't because of the shutdown. It was because of the George Floyd stuff. So they're slowly doing these things. And I think just by 2073, it's just so normal. It's just so normal. And they're smart, y'all. They know what they're doing. They ain't stupid. They ain't gonna go out there and beat us with clubs because they know we ain't gonna stand for that. They do it smart, y'all. They keep us distracted and then they throw some things in. They got to change some laws where we got to show our ID to get on something, and they just slowly start implementing these laws and we just obey. Man, I'm having fun today with you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Today's one of those days where I'm just in a zone. I love it. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate, love every one of you guys. Very thankful for y'all.
There's this thing called Operation Often, and it was hidden from the majority of government until 1975 to 77. The FBI director basically destroyed all evidence of MK Ultra. So in December of 2024, they just released 1,200 documents, gave more light to this thing called Operation Often. Operation Often was a joint U.S. Army and CIA project launched in the late 1960s. They went full in on hiring Satanists, witches to study and see if they could weaponize the paranormal. This is not made up. These documents came out saying that they were doing this. There are even reports that this program had files on spiritual possessions, poltergeist activity, and demonic entities.
Bro,
this is the U.S. government saying, like, let's research this and see if we can weaponize it.
They're looking at spirituality as like a science to be like harnessed because they know it's real. People think black magic, witchcraft, all this stuff is baloney, but I'm like, if the government, they've been looking, now they're like, now we're going to conduct a study on it.
This was at the height of the Cold War paranoia, so they're like just trying to figure out anything to weaponize.
Yeah.
So now not only American news but also Russian news are supporting the theory that UFO is coming to us in October. I wasn't gonna make a video about this, but now I'm seeing news in Russia as well, and Russia is preparing for like a UFO attack. I've been doubting about this, and I thought that maybe this is a news distraction from the situation, from the meeting between Donald Trump and Putin in Alaska, to have some other important news. But honestly, I don't feel funny anymore. This object is not behaving like any other normal solar system object. This situation never happened before, and I think we're gonna meet. I personally think that aliens and stuff, they were already, everything is discovered about this, we just don't know. But this is more about a conspiracy theories here. So let me know in comments, what are you guys planning to do? Are you gonna get ready with supplies or move somewhere further from the major cities, which I already did? This video is just my thoughts. I'm not source of news, but I'm very concerned about this news because Americans usually posting about Area 51 aliens and stuff, but Russia never post about these things seriously. I think something is up. Let me know what you think in comments.
They're trying to
See, we're so indoctrinated with these things that we see a UFO, gonna be here in October. We're like, all right, like, what else you got? You know what I mean? But over there, she's freaking out because they don't post those things on the daily. They don't breaking news, orbs all over the sky in New Jersey. They don't see that. So when their government comes out and say some crazy things like UFOs gonna be here in October, they're freaking out, y'all. They're going to buy supplies. They're going to do it because it's not indoctrinated. They're not like daily beating the head with this nonsense that they're beating us with.
Change the age of adulthood from 18 years old to 14 years old. Let me say that again. They are trying to change the age of adulthood to 18 years old to 14-year-old. We can have a whole debate whether or not 18 should still be considered an adult, considering their frontal lobe has not even developed. But 18 to 14, and to pretend like this is under the illusion of public safety because there are so many 14-year-olds just running rampant within our community, causing violence, and they should be charged as adults, is bonkers in itself. I'm sorry, there should never be a blanket change of adulthood from 18-year-olds to 14-year-olds to charge them as adults for crimes that they may commit. We're talking about people who barely have the right to work in this country, let alone drive in this country, but they should be charged as adults. But really the reason why they're doing this is to enable for people who want to harm children to not be charged for the crimes that they commit against those children. They want to be able to have 14-year-olds marry older men. They also want to enable for people who might essay those young girls to not be held accountable as sexual predators, especially in the age where we are finally seeing that there are more 30 and 40-year-olds having children than teenagers. Teen pregnancy is finally decreasing. And for many people who don't know, the vast majority of teen pregnancy happens between a child and an adult. A child being the young lady, and the adult being the incredibly disgusting older man. This is not about public safety. This is about taking the agency and choices from women and girls.
To the Grand Canyon, you think you've seen it all until you look closer. Hiking down just 2,000 feet below, there is an entirely different world down here. The feeling of stillness, tranquility, and calmness gives you a perspective you don't have when you're in a city. Now, down here you feel like an ant next to the trunk of a tree the size of a skyscraper, or what people believe is an ancient mining site. But this looks like the remnants of a bunch of ancient temples, until you go a little closer. Now, there's an official story there were copper mines here in the 1800s, but this formation I'm looking at looks like a giant tree bark, splintered and withered, and behind it looks like a colossal tree stump. And over here next to it, another one. But then there's burn marks, scorch marks. What is this? As I look down and find something smaller for us, or giant for ants, we see something that may defy logic or the narrative that we've been taught. What do you guys think this is? Burn marks, scorch lines, wind erosion that cut perfect corners. What do you guys think this really is?
That boy said he went to China, got an MRI, X-ray, and blood work for $80. $80
Just scamming us, yo.
for an MRI, blood work, and X-ray. You know how much that shit would have cost in the United States? Do you know how much that shit would have cost in the United States? Well over 15 grand. Well over 15. It can cost up to $12,000 for an MRI alone in the United States. X-rays, on a good day, $100. Blood work, a few hundred. The medicine that I'm on, the medication that I'm on, over there, I could get like 10 months worth for $170. $170. You know how much it costs in the United States? $1,100. If you never felt like the United States was duping you, you should now. Because they are very heavily taking advantage of the American citizens.
You see these? I mean, they really are. Like, how much does an MRI machine cost? Let's just be generous. Maybe 100,000 for an MRI machine. Now they're charging each person. People getting MRIs in that doctor's office from 9 to 5, one after another. So they're paying $1,500. So the machine's paid off. The machine's been paid off. The debt they got for that machine has been paid off. So now they're just screwing. Now they're just profiting. Profit. Go get your blood work. How much does a needle cost? 10 cents. You know, how much does the syringe cost? 50 cents, if that. I mean, where's all this money going? Where's this money? It ain't going to the phlebotomist. It ain't going to the MRI technician. It's not going to them. It's not going to their boss. Who's this money going to? All this money. $1,500 a day for an MRI, nonstop, all day, every day. Where's this money going? They're duping us, like she said.
Of Christians, priests with crucifixes around their necks getting spit on in Jerusalem.
She spit on me and she touched me.
Are those real?
Yes, and I mean that's happened before. You know, even from the first days that I was there, there'd be occasionally something like that, and occasionally there were graffiti put on walls and sprayed on Jesus a monkey. 2013. Like on a church. Yeah, that was right. In Tabka, where the multiplication of the loaves and the fish, graffiti there, talking about getting rid of the idols or something like that, some sort of Old Testament statement, and burning a statue of the Virgin Mary in parts of the monastery there.
Like, I laugh and shake my head because that's a grown man doing that to another grown man. All religion aside, y'all. Then you got the kids following your footsteps doing that. Like, just we as people, man. Just we as people, mindsets are just messed up, y'all. Messed up. Mindsets are messed up. Make something that's so beautiful, they make it so ugly, which is life. Life can be so beautiful, y'all. You a glass half full or a glass half empty? What are you? I'm a glass half full type of guy. Life is beautiful. Now I've had darkness. I've had where life is like, I don't want to be here no more. Why me? But once you get through that, some people, spit on other people when they get through that. They still have that why me mentality. But some people, when they get through that, they're like, damn, I'm so glad I went through that. Thank you, Lord. You know what I mean? Like, it's just glass half full, half empty, and the majority of the world is half empty.
You're looking agitated, my man. You're looking agitated. And what happens when you get agitated in the world?
I'm gonna be real with you, okay? I gotta get out of here.
You're not going anywhere. What's gonna happen if you?
All right. You guys need to do a little bit better. You need to do a little bit better, okay? And I know you guys get hired for a reason. I know you go through protocols and everything. You get training for this stuff, all right? Dude, make it make sense.
Sorry about that, officer.
Fuck that. Stand on your ground.
Have a good day.
Punk
If
ass
what you're
cop.
saying is true, then this is a revelation.
Yeah. And I couldn't speak about it until now, that it's possible to communicate with someone that's passed away. And I'm saying it from the point of view of being a neuroscientist and a psychiatrist. And it's taboo because we are afraid that people will think we're going insane. I mean, I've been part of teams that have locked people up and had them injected with stuff against their will because of things they were saying that's not that dissimilar to things I've experienced. So I wanted to find out as much science as I could to try to back it up.
And do you think you found the answer?
Yeah.
How sure are you?
100%. And the things I found out are going to shock you.
The floor is yours.
Okay. So I lost my beloved husband to leukemia almost 4 years ago, 2 days before our 4th wedding anniversary. And everything I believed in had gone wrong. I was just totally lost and broken. But then I started getting signs from my husband. And in my desperation, I did consult a couple of mediums. But not being impressed by them, I ended up thinking, if it's possible to communicate with someone that's passed away, and I am all about optimizing my brain, then I should be able to do it myself. So I went down a rabbit hole, and what I've uncovered in this research is going to have a really beneficial effect on a lot of people.
Why?
Because it means that we are capable of so much more than what we think the human mind is capable of.
So listen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and ask the questions and challenge you in ways that I think the viewer might challenge you.
I want you to ask me those questions.
Of that, like imagine a world in which if Enoch was left in the Bible and people were like, wait, what happened? Like, explain the nuttiness of the book of Enoch to people.
Well, it's okay. So if you read it, it talks about the fall of angels, thus creating really the precursor of civilization that led to the first flood. I think that when you even go into potentially the technology that was given to mankind by these angels, it talks about the hidden beliefs and theories in astronomy, etc., metalworkings, all of it. But it really does explain, you were talking about earlier how you have a lot of these religions around the world that kind of say the same thing. This is kind of the OG text that leads to those stories that we're hearing from many religions around the world, to talk about angels mixing with mankind and then seeding a super essentially race of humans that essentially were responsible for basically damning mankind to the flood. I mean, you hear about stuff in Greek and Roman mythology, people who had these super crazy powers, and you talk about it out loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. And then the fact that it was taken out and then it's poo-pooed, yet you have one of the oldest religions in the world, be it the Ethiopians, that actually still have it. You have, the Catholic Church that has books that are missing out of the King James Version. I'm just saying that, when you read it, you should read it and decide for yourself. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen to what you're saying, but truly give it a chance and see what you have to say. And then, you're going back to this whole concept of if you have this information pertaining to UAPs, whatever they might be, the origins. I mean, if you have a understanding of what Enoch was talking about, kind of makes sense.
Well, I go back to my thought.
And a week or two ago, they came to the White House, the leaders of the Republic of the Congo in Rwanda, and signed a peace treaty with President Trump.
And the Republic of Congo is former Zaire?
Yes, it is. A lot of people, now probably 90% would disagree, but it is former Zaire. And 80 to 90% of the names of the African nations today are not the original name. Mm-hmm. Well, look at Nigeria. Who created the term Nigeria? a British baroness, a woman by the name of Flora Shaw. Flora Shaw, Flora Shaw, created the term Nigeria. So 85 to 90% of the names on the continent are either German, Dutch, British, Portuguese. And so the map maker, the Antonio Venetian map maker, Livio Sonato's map, in going back to 1588, it shows in the middle the Latin term Dio Rim with the V and the M silent.
So what if I told you that the Vietnam War was started with a lie, and that the phrase conspiracy theorist was actually invented by the CIA to shut people up who figured out about it? Let's talk about how the government gaslit an entire generation into war and then smeared anybody who questioned it. In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson told the American public that a U.S. ship called the USS Maddox had been attacked by North Vietnamese forces in the Gulf of Tonkin. Except for that second attack, yeah, it never happened. No, not like maybe didn't happen, like definitely didn't happen. It was a complete fabrication. But that didn't stop Congress from passing the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which essentially gave Johnson a blank check to escalate the war in Vietnam. So yeah, by 1968, we had over 500,000 troops in Vietnam. We were carpet bombing villages, spraying chemical weapons like Agent Orange, and killing millions of Vietnamese citizens based on a lie. So here's the part that they don't teach you about in school. After France lost its colonial war in Vietnam, the US stepped in, ignored international agreements, and installed this dictator in the South. He was so corrupt and brutal that even the Vietnamese people fucking hated this guy. And when nationwide elections were planned to unify the country, elections Ho Chi Minh was guaranteed to win, we backed out. We canceled. No democracy for you, baby. So yeah, we didn't just join the Vietnam War. We escalated, provoked, and manipulated our way into it. Now here's where it gets even a little bit darker. As thousands of soldiers and anti-war protests exploded across the US, people started asking questions, you know? Like, why were we even in Vietnam? Why were the poor drafted while the rich got deferments? And why did the government lie about the Gulf of Tonkin? And the CIA, they were not about to lose that narrative, let me tell you. So in 1967, they wrote a classified memo, CIA Dispatch number 1035-960. It was a propaganda guide that was sent to journalists and foreign operatives on how to low-key discredit anybody speaking out against this shit, especially when people were asking too many questions around the JFK assassination. This memo wanted to call these people conspiracy theorists, because that term didn't really exist before then. And then it was weaponized to shame critical thinkers, equating questioning the government with being absolutely unhinged, batshit crazy out of your mind. Oh, and it worked. Think about that for a second. The Vietnam War was escalated with a provable lie, sustained by media propaganda, and shielded by a weaponized insult that's still used today. Conspiracy theorists back then didn't mean crazy, it just meant somebody who wasn't buying the government's bullshit. And honestly, the people that they were calling crazy were fucking right. So next time somebody says, well, the government would never do that, just remind them that they already did. And they made sure that you would be too embarrassed to say anything about it. And if you think this is fucking crazy, just wait till you hear what we did in Panama. Follow for more deep dives. They don't want you to know.
The homeless people know everything.
That's an interesting
Eyes and ears
on the
eyes
street.
and ears. Like I had one guy, God rest his soul, he ended up getting murdered. So and you can even ask the Hoboken police. I used to take the homeless guys and make them my bathroom attendants.
Really?
So I used to pay them, feed them. So I had a guy, Walter, that worked for me. The kid was a Golden Gloves boxer, and he just went down the wrong path. When he got older, he got into heroin and whatever. This guy here would do anything for me. But I told him, listen, if you're fucked up and you're doing drugs, you're not fucking working for me. So you either stay straight or you're fucking out. One of my bartenders lived in Hoboken, just bought an electric bike, and he stole it from across from the path. So Walter comes around. I said, Walter, let me talk to you. I said, you get $100. I want to know who stole the fucking bike. One of your guys stole the bike, and I want to know who it is. So he says to me, all right, boss. Hour and a half, 2 hours. He comes wheeling the bike down the
No
street.
way.
Swear to God.
Of course. Eyes
I was
and
like, who
ears.
had the bike? He's like, no, man. You know I can't ride. You know I ain't a rat. I said, all right. You got the bike back. Here's 100.
Chat, I know y'all seen that back to school commercial floating around, bro. Like, bro, it's like school's supposed to be about education and, school supplies and shit like that, bro. This was far more sinister, bro. Like, let me tell y'all how, because I ain't gonna put it in a video because I know people with kids, it's probably a sensitive subject to them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just explain what happened in the video. It started off cool. The little boy opened his locker. He said, this book bag, this is great for the new school year. We went to the band and put the book bag on. It was all smooth. Some little girl, she even had folders. It was all good. These are perfect for the new school year. Then it switch. You see some little boy running down the hallway in his new sneakers. These new sneakers are perfect for this time of the school year. Running, but he looking back scared. I'm like, ain't nobody teach him how to act? Like, he supposed to pay attention to the camera, talk to us. So the little boy looking back scared. I look behind him. You hear screaming in the background. Then the next clip is another little girl with scissors. She's like, oh yeah, these scissors come in handy in our class.
What?
Switch over to a little boy next to her, like, so do these coloring pencils. And you hear boom, boom in the background. The next clip is another little boy. My mom finally got the skateboard I wanted. He in the classroom breaking the class window so that him and other kids can jump out of it. What? And bro, this last clip, bro, the little girl in the bathroom. I finally got me a phone and I can text my mom just in case of an emergency at school with tears in her eyes. And she said, I love you, Mom. And you hear the bathroom door open and you hear footsteps walking. I want y'all to go look at this commercial, bro, because this is not giving back to school feel at all. You get what I'm saying? And it's bad enough that I didn't see any teachers in the video. Man, what y'all trying to tell them for? Like, say it to my face. But y'all gonna check it out. The video should be categorized. I'm gonna let y'all go check it out yourself, because it could be sensitive to some people. Man, y'all go check it out. Tell me what y'all think about it.
Is that legit? I haven't seen that. If it's legit, y'all, send me the TikTok on my email down below. Actually, any clips you guys find on TikTok, send them my way. Not Instagram, not YouTube, because you can't download those. Like TikTok, make it easy on me, y'all. I'm a busy man. I got a 6-month-old baby. I got a woman. I got a house to keep up. So if you guys find a TikToks, send them to my email down below, y'all. I'll put them on the video. But just make sure they're not 30-minute TikToks. I'll say 2 minutes and under, y'all. I'll put those on. I don't like putting 10-minute clips on the video. So if you guys can find that, but if you find that commercial, is that legit? That's crazy. I'm gonna look for that for tomorrow's video, y'all.
Most Americans don't know what happens when we lose one of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, or Coast Guardsmen in combat. So let me tell you what happens. Their buddies wrap them up in whatever passes as a shroud, puts them on a helicopter as a routine, and sends them home. Their first stop along the way is when they're packed in ice, typically at the airhead, and then they're flown to usually Europe, where they're then packed in ice again and flown to Dover Air Force Base, where Dover takes care of the remains, embalms them, meticulously dresses them in their uniform with the medals that they've earned, the emblems of their service, and then puts them on another airplane linked up with a casualty officer escort that takes them home. That's the process. While that's happening, a casualty officer typically goes to the home very early in the morning and waits for the first lights to come on. And then he knocks on the door. Typically the mom and dad will answer, the wife. And if there is a wife, this is happening in 2 different places. If the parents are divorced, 3 different places. And the casualty officer proceeds to break the heart of a family member and stays with that family until, well, for a long, long time, even after the internment. So that's what happens. Who are these young men and women? They are the best 1% this country produces.
Listen to me very carefully, as we got some breaking news coming out of Alaska that evacuations are now beginning at the capital due to imminent threat of likely record glacial outburst flooding. Noted that evacuations are underway in part of Alaska's capital of Juneau after a glacial outburst sent water rushing down the Mendenhall River and into communities across the region. Glacial outburst has occurred at the basin is releasing and flooding is expected along the Mendenhall Lake and River late Tuesday through Wednesday. If you are anywhere near this evacuation zone, please evacuate now, especially if you have children. Do not play with this. The entire city and towns are threatened that they can completely be emerged underwater. Also noted, if you're in the area, is that Red Cross shelters were set up for residents at Floyd Dryden Gymnasium. Facilities along the Mendenhall River, including the Mendenhall Valley Public Library, Diamond Park Fieldhouse, Diamond Park Aquatic Center, and all nearby fields were closed on Tuesday because of the very, very dangerous situation. It's also noted that travel has also been impacted because several roads in the region have been closed due to flooding, including the Mendenhall Loop Road Back Loop Bridge. It's also noted that the closure will remain in effect until water levels recede below 12 feet and bridge engineers complete a safety inspection. Listen, the bottom line is all the places that I have mentioned that you need to take this seriously and you need to get your family out immediately. Hopefully that everybody is gone and that my message doesn't mean a damn thing. But if it hits one person out there in that area and we can have the ability to save somebody's life, then that's why we will continue to post these weather patterns. I'm going to follow this very carefully because it looks like it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I will follow this through and do my best to keep up with a part 2, a part 3, and a part 4. Please keep your family safe out there. We are praying for all the people in Alaska.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me I'm a single mother. I get my car towed. I'm struggling to get it back. They will actually sell my car in the meantime if I can't come up with the funds.
Correct.
How long?
And then the city the police officer that you paid with your tax money gets to do that to you. Yeah.
Wait, how long do I have to get the car back out of the impound lot?
That is something that we would have to investigate. I would guess 90 days. We have inside information that Matthew Furman actually comes to these auctions, bids on cars that he personally has had towed, he buys them, and then he flips them for a profit.
Allegedly.
Does that seem like that would be not allowed within the job description to do?
That is like super piece of shit territory. Wait, hold on. You're telling me I'm a single mother. I get my car towed. I'm struggling to get it back. They will actually sell my car in the meantime if I can't come up with the funds.
Correct.
How long?
And then the city the police officer that you paid with your tax money gets to do that to you. Yeah.
Wait, how long do I have to get the car back out of the impound lot?
That is something that we would have to investigate.
Okay, you ready for this one? On Reddit, one user wrote that time skipped forward impossibly. He wrote, my alarm went off at 7 a.m. and suddenly it was 8:30. And when he checked every clock, his watch, his phone, his wall clock, they all matched. So an hour and a half was just gone. Another person shared that time just stopped. They wrote that they got home, sat down to watch a movie, and suddenly it was an hour later with no memory of how that time passed. And on TikTok, entire threads, hashtag missing time glitch and time glitch are blowing up right now. People posting stories all over the place. They're comparing timestamps and everyone's questioning reality. So 5 people in one town losing the same hour is not as far-fetched as it sounds. Because if even one person's clock just jumps ahead, it starts feeling like something's off, like something's broken, like something's glitching in the background of reality, right? So what if time's not broken though? What if time is actually skipping?
You said that you've seen evidence. Like, what kind of evidence have you seen?
I have seen photos. I have seen...
what have you seen photos of?
So I was in a skiff, and I can't discuss all that was in a skiff, but what I can tell you is based on the photos that I've seen, I'm very confident that there's things out there that have not been created by mankind.
It seems crazy that people have access to information that shows that there's something outside of us that is more intelligent, at least more capable than we are, and they hide it from everybody else.
What I can tell you is that when you have thousands upon thousands of people around the planet throughout time that have reported something.
Right.
To say that those people are crazy, to say that, you know, the whole concept of even just asking the question that you might not necessarily be psychologically sound, that in itself, you know, that's a disinformation campaign to get people to shut up about it. And that's a problem. We know that the U.S. government has not exactly been clean, and a lot of what they've done with the American people, specifically to the topic of UFOs.
Which makes you think that it's probably because there's something there. If you think about the motivation they had with Project Blue Book, when J. Allen Hynek was running Project Blue Book, this specific intention was to discredit all stories.
And he ended up ultimately, though, after all of his investigations, becoming someone that was like, I think there's something here. But that
America has decided it doesn't need all these poor people. It doesn't need cheap labor, or it doesn't need that much cheap labor. So what are they going to do? They're going to cut health services. They're going to cut Social Security. And a lot of those people are going to die. And that's a pretty conscious decision.
Well, black and white sports fans, let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season is fast approaching. The preseason is already here. And fans of the Vikings are already canceling season tickets. Is it because that they don't think the team is going to be good? No, it's not that. It's actually because of the cheerleading squad, guys. Now, in the NFL,
don't mess with the
cheerleaders are
cheerleaders.
supposed to be hot young women. Not men. Not men. But the Minnesota Vikings, guys, actually, I believe, have 2 males now on the cheerleading squad. And this is not the type of male cheerleaders you actually see in college. You know, mainly in college football games, the male cheerleaders are there to actually hold up the women. Now, this ain't the case. Folks, this one guy we're going to be talking about, he has like full pom-poms and everything. He is, quote unquote, one of the girls. And it's backfiring, folks. It is backfiring.
It always does.
Folks, I've been saying that woke sports hasn't been done. But you know what? I got to reevaluate that, guys. Because I just found out that 12 teams actually have a male cheerleader. But this guy right here, I mean, he is all out trying to be a female. Now, if I'm not mistaken, don't the Carolina Panthers actually have a transgender cheerleader? I do believe so. But these Vikings fans, man, they're not having any of this. We even have Hercules himself, Kevin Sorbo, coming out and speaking on this. Let's go ahead and get into this, guys.
The Alaska thing is crazy, and let me tell you why. Listen to me closely. We know the weather over there has been absolutely insane. We also know that there's the glacier melt off, and they're doing a whole bunch of evacuations, right? And again, like every single mass event, we have a brand new frequency pattern in a way we've never seen before. Fascinating. Let's come right back to it. Sorry, a glacial lake outburst. By the way, this was the same exact location having this, I believe, in 2023. On a completely separate note, not related at all, this was said and everyone was confused.
And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty.
This Friday, in 2 days. But the really weird thing, when people heard him say that, they're like, wait, you're going there and not to Alaska when Alaska was the meeting place? Y'all remember last year when that same guy, he came out and said that the sale of Alaska was wrong and basically they should still own Alaska? Oh, this, right? Hold on. And I mean, really, hold on. Now on a completely different subject, do y'all remember when the great earthquake came? We had that tsunami that came? And I had told you guys when this happened that not even 24 hours prior that a deadline had been given over to that same exact guy. And then nature nature started going insane between Alaska and Russia. Remember I started showing you guys all these grids and these patterns with the earth moving in certain ways and all that good stuff? Hold on, we're getting there. And then I showed you guys how there is a crazy correlation between the Schumann frequency when the earthquake happened and the same exact correlation between the Schumann frequency and the Texas flood. And then even further, I showed you the massive correlation between the floods that we just had, the lightning and the thunder with, again, the Schumann frequency. This was just in the sky last night in Alaska, by the way. All unrelated, just cool facts. And unrelated again, this thing that we just saw, again, matched with the Schumann frequency, but even further, while all this is going on in Alaska, we have another sight that we have never seen. I've been watching this thing a long time. Anyone who has also been watching it last time will agree. Not normal. And remember, it measures the Earth's frequency, but that's not to say an outside frequency cannot get mixed in with it. Example, we've seen it spike with the auroras coming way down south. Crazy, I think we're onto something. Now back to the subject at hand. He's meeting Putin Friday in Alaska.
Man, I saw a little clip that Henry put out, about his past and his, trials and tribulations he's been through. And I got a new respect for Henry. I always liked him. I don't know. I like his vibe. I get comments on here that, he's a shill, whatever. Everybody that gets views is a government worker, right? But after seeing that clip I saw of him and what happened to his child, man, new respect for Henry. Y'all, shouts out to Henry. Probably ain't gonna see this, man, but shouts out to you. Hits a little different now that I have a son. Things like that hit a lot different now. So back to the video.
The new fundraiser is at school for the kids. They give you a list and you put down everybody's name, number, and email that you can think of. And then the kids, instead of, this was for athletics for my daughter, so instead of dressing out and doing athletics, they spent an hour calling, texting, and emailing people asking for pledges and donations. And my daughter, I was like, I'm not really interested in giving people's information. She FaceTimed me during class. I guess they let them have their phones so they could send the links. And she FaceTimed me and she said, Mom, it's a grade. I need to do it. And I was like, touche. So I gave her my email because she didn't know my email, and my mom and, like 2 other people. And I was like, that's it, sis. Like, I'm not interested. So a few minutes later, she texts me and she goes, the guy said that I should send you this link so you can put it on your Facebook. And I wrote back, no. But I clicked the link just to see what it was about, and the first amount donation that you can give is $2,000, and
What?
there's increments, and it goes down to 50. And if you want to do anything less than 50, you have to type in your own amount and then donate. And I just feel like they were hustling my kids, and then the kids are then hustling their parents, and I'm like, this is the new wave of raising money and fundraising. I didn't even get any crappy popcorn for it. Anyway, be on the lookout for calls, texts, and emails, because you don't get enough of those already, and it'll be asking for money for your kid's school. That, doesn't have anything to do with the bajillion-dollar bond that we're paying for right now so we can have $1 million stadium. Education's doing real great right now, isn't it?
$1 billion.
The cup.
Stadium.
What is that about, bro? Because I seen a dude touch the cup and something happened to his hand.
Oh, look. Keep in mind what he told you. He said, I'm going to handle things a different way. That's his cup of souls. If you touch that cup or go in the room with it, he got you.
Hang the phone up.
He got you.
So in a negative way?
Anyway,
Okay, Burb, can you tell me this? He has money twisted together like a fat joint and the tips is burnt in the jar.
Oh, no.
Come on. Why you telling me what's in the cup for? It ain't got nothing to do with it. Why you hiding the cup? Now we hiding the cup.
We doing an interview.
What does that mean,
We
bro?
supposed to be doing an interview.
Hang on. We supposed to be, let me get a light, gang.
Is the money in a jar?
Money in a jar twisted like a big fat blunt, but it's burnt at the ends. Now he's lighting. What is that? Sage. He's lighting sage.
He said sage.
It's too late now. It's too late.
Listen. Why? Because I detected something?
It's too late. Like for if you notice something about that dollar that's twisted, that means destroy and take families. That motherfucker's different, man.
That's for me? No, because it was already done before I got here.
It was already
He
done.
didn't know I was coming.
Yeah, I didn't know he was coming. That was for somebody else. That's for somebody else. And hey, Verb, listen. Do you know you can't
Why
talk
did
to
them $100 bills you burnt?
Hey, do you know you can't talk stuff you talking,
Verb?
Verb?
It look like it's about 5, 6 of them turned together.
He is getting y'all up out of there, man.
Hey, Verb, you know you can't do what you're doing. Hey, why don't you pull up on me, Verb?
Hey, Wack, check this out with him. That's a vengeful little motherfucker, man. He a shapeshifter. You gotta watch him.
Well, I don't think I've done anything to rub him the wrong way. I think he felt some kind of way I popped up at his house, but I think my energy and the conversation is balancing that out. He ain't coming off like I ain't seen him get on the phone and text security. He ain't did none of that.
Okay, so it's a positive night meeting, right?
Yeah, I mean, I come with that energy. That's my intentions anyway.
He straight no way,
That's a
bro.
blessing then.
I grew up with a nigga, Verb. He stay calling nigga I grew up with. That's why I grew up with them. Like that's about like
No, hey,
gang. That's about like his kids.
Let me ask A-Burb this, because you said some shit about St. Louis, and I told you I don't think you was qualified to say that.
All right, ask him.
He said St. Louis started gangbanging following the movie Colors, and I'm like, I don't know about that, and it's kind of sound crazy, and I didn't want that out there. If
Colors
that
came out, yeah,
but it wasn't people coming to the city.
Wait, Colors was a very influential movie. A lot of them LA movies fucked the world up. But to my knowledge, it was the gangs from your way that came out there.
That's what
they came. But I'm saying when we first started banging, we saw it on TV. Then they came. They came.
So
and shot.
Verb, is your projects Hoover's?
No, Verb, good.
But where do you get Hoover from then?
I just told you, gang. It's different where I'm from than where you from.
Where'd you get that from?
I moved from over there. I moved to somewhere else.
Oh.
So when I moved somewhere else.
You moved or they ran you out of there?
No, I moved. Listen, at that age, where we was living at, bro, nobody really lived there. I don't think you get it, bro. It's in Normandy, but it's in Paysdale, but it's not in Paysdale, but no one gets out that building. It's right next to a cemetery, bro. So when I moved there, I moved to a new place. I moved to Pond Line. All right, I moved somewhere else. But there, it was different.
It's crazy because for Verb to say they trained him in politics and him to be what he was to the battle rap community makes sense on why he was always a step ahead of everybody.
No, that's true.
And guess what my apartment number was? 314, which is St. Louis area code.
He ain't lying. Look, the crazy part about it, I didn't think that nobody would ever talk about my past. And then I know he don't want to put that video out too now.
What video?
The video out about my past. Like Verb don't want to be talking all about my past. I know this now. Now I know who doing it.
Well, he ain't gonna hide nothing. Verb don't care. You know you can't whoop him.
I ain't gonna try to whoop him. But I know for a fact he the one doing it.
You
now.
know you can't out talk him. You can't whoop him.
I was asked in fourth grade. Ask him.
Fourth grade.
I swear to God. Ask him.
Verb.
Fourth grade.
Our government has officially passed a bill that will see that we pay for the healthcare and retirement pensions for all IDF soldiers currently in and also already retired. This is going to be better and higher quality than that of our own soldiers. You cannot make this stuff up, and it will be funded by you. And on top of that, because they're going to be taking care of all the money that was previously being spent on them by the Israeli government, now gets to go to the citizens of Israel, which means they get free healthcare. You can't make this up. This is ridiculous. And we have this all the while people in our own country don't have healthcare, aren't being taken care of, and we have homeless veterans. And we are actively paying for all of another country's. Can't make this stuff up. There's only one, when it's all about solutions, there's only one solution that I can think of at this current moment. I'm going to put up on the screen because I can definitely not say this on TikTok.
Miranda Derrick and all of the other content creators from the 7M TikTok cult documentary that premiered on Netflix all erased their social media accounts, and the timing is crazy. I'm sure you guys remember the Netflix documentary, The 7M TikTok Cult, where there was a whole bunch of TikTok dancers that were allegedly being controlled by this man named Robert Shin. And there were horrific allegations of fraud, but also trafficking that this man was doing for years. July 25th of 2025, search warrants were served at the property tied to the church profiled in the 7M TikTok call, which is also the content houses that these content creators would use. All owned by the same man, Robert Shin, where all of these people were accusing him for running this call and also allegedly trafficking women. As you can see, these warrants were part of an investigation involving alleged money laundering and trafficking. If you watch the 7M documentary that came out, you know that this was all allegations that were in this documentary, and also multiple people that did speak on this incident did go file police reports. So now, knowing the fact that there has been an ongoing investigation and the feds have enough probable cause to execute search warrants, and now all of a sudden all of these content creators that decided to stay with this Robert Shin man in the 7M call are all wiping all of their social media, which is the primary way they make money, is insane. All of the ones deleting their accounts have huge followings. They are content creators. This is how they make their money. So the fact that they are just wiping everything is kind of scary. Like, you really want to hope that they're okay. We can all assume that Robert Shin is probably the one behind this, trying to cover his tracks now that he knows he's under federal investigation. And also believe, since it's the feds executing these search warrants, they've probably already reviewed all of these social media accounts. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
I know the craziest gangsters that they converted.
he's not that. Right? You understand? So he's not from that. Like, they always put up his picture from jail, and it's like he did shock. I don't know if you guys know what shock was. In New York, it was a program. If you got locked up, you go to shock program. That was for the guys that didn't want to do the time. So it's shock. Whenever you see his jail picture and he's so slim and you see it, that's because he went through shock. It's like boot camp and you could get out. But that was where all of the dudes that couldn't do jail time. So that's a whole nother story. But that's a New York thing. Anyone from the New York know what I'm talking about. Damn. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm just saying that, like, my first day when I met him, I was going to say that it was DJ Clue called me to come to a game for basketball at Chelsea Piers. And there's other dudes, Bernard, shout out Bernard, you know what I'm saying? He was EPMD's manager. And I go to play ball. I never left home without it. You understand? I never left home without it. So, you know, I go out there. I'm by myself, go play ball. And then this is when he was just doing mixtape and shitting. And he was fucking with Bang'em Smurf. I don't know if you remember Bang'em Smurf. He just hit me too. What up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And I keep hearing chitter chatter. So I grabbed the ball. I stopped the game. Like, my man, do I know you? Like, what's up? And Smurf come running over to him. No, yo, Fifth, chill out. Yo, Fifth, let's just play ball. Just play ball. When he say Fifth, I said, oh, this must be this dude 50. Must be. I don't know what he looked like. That's the first day I met him. I clotheslined him, dropped him. Like, he come down the court. I just clotheslined him for no reason while he was going to the hole. Just because I grew up like fighting. So I'm like, if you run a fight, we could fight. He just put that smirk on. He jumped back up. You know, I gave him another real hard foul again. He don't do nothing. So I grabbed the ball and said, come on, nigga, just play ball. Let's go. And that was my first day. I swear on everything. That was my first day meeting him. And it was like that. It was like, you know, he seen Bernard going in my bag, and I was like, don't go in my bag. And him and Bang Smurf left. So I thought maybe they forming up outside. So I called my studio right up the block. I called my niggas, they come, and they was like, Chris, ain't nobody outside. Okay. See, if that's the shoes of the other foot, if I was him, he couldn't. It would have been an issue. See, that's just how I grew up. It would have been an issue. I'm not just walking away and leaving you there knowing you by yourself. Oh, you gonna have a problem.
Dude, the noise, I don't think that people who live in the city, they've become acclimated to all of the constant noise.
Yeah.
It's never quiet. But when I enter into that environment, like that noise it does something to me. Like the traffic and the constant humming, and it just, I feel like I begin to hold this tension within me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing to me. I don't know, man.
It's sensory overload. Yeah. And
but I guess you can
become
become accustomed to it.
Well, people in New York City have to become accustomed to it, and they actually like it. They like that feeling of sensory overload. But everybody that I know that likes that is fairly unhealthy. I don't know any like real fit, healthy, active people that really enjoy that environment.
What do y'all know about the other side in the afterlife? Is there one?
Yes, there is. For sure. I've seen it. You know, one day I was about to go to sleep and they're like, you want to go to heaven? And I was like, thought I was going to die. I thought it was like, you want to go to heaven? Okay, you're about to die.
I mean, a voice is saying that to you?
Yeah, it was Archangel Michael. So he was like, you know, you want to see heaven? And I was like, oh, shoot, I'm scared. And he was like, you're not dying, Jasmine. We're just going to show you, you know? So he took me up there, and it literally looks just like Earth without all the buildings. Like, just imagine,
the pollution.
Without the pollution. Without the yeah, and it's amazing up there. And they're doing the same things. They'll be fishing, they're hiking, like
cooking,
dancing. Like, I mean,
so there's physical bodies on that side?
It's like their essence, I guess you want to say.
Imagine like a colorful orb. That's how they come across. But some of them are bigger, some of them are like smaller. But sometimes when you're connected with them, they will present themselves as like their physical body.
What is the point of coming back and going up there? Like, what's the ultimate mission? Say, if we reincarnate to become enlightened, there's got to be at some point when our job's done here on Earth.
Exactly.
So after that, what are we doing? I know you just said, okay, different jobs like guardian angels.
Yeah.
But is there anything above that which strictly stays in the afterlife?
There are ascended masters. So they're up there with the ascended masters gaining more learning. There's also work for them to help guide souls. So they're not on Earth, but when souls get trapped in transition going to the other side, there are souls that actually choose to stay and they work with the angel of death. So they're going around helping souls that get trapped.
How do you get trapped and what does that mean?
Well, some of them don't want to leave Earth.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even, like, they're shocked. They're like, oh,
I died.
I died. Oh my God.
And
like,
it's funny, people on Earth, their loved ones know that. Like when you tell them, like, hey, your dad's actually trapped here, he's earthbound, they go, I felt that. Like he wasn't at peace. I knew it.
So how do they get at peace if they're trapped?
No, some of them don't want to go to heaven, and some of them can't believe they don't want to accept the fact they're dead.
Yeah, and some of them fear judgment.
Yeah.
Some of them based on their religious belief system. They're like, oh my God, I'm scared. I'm going to go to hell. And the angels are like, you're not going to go to hell. Come, like.
And they're trying to just persuade them to get on the other
trying
side?
to persuade them to.
What are they doing in that transition? By they just an orb floating around? What are they doing?
Literally like stuck, like in a loop.
Yeah.
Is that a scary place to be?
No.
Like they're good.
They're good.
The world has changed so much in the last 20 years. In 2005, Sony filmed arguably the most insane TV commercial in history. They launched 250,000 bouncing balls down a suburban street in San Francisco. Also, they could highlight the vast array of colors that their new TV screen could display. They called it Color Like No Other. Now, not only did this cause tens of thousands of dollars in damages, but it also led to a countrywide bouncy ball shortage. They somehow got approval from both the city and the local residents that lived along the street where they wanted to film it, saying, we're not sure exactly what's gonna happen, but whatever we destroy, we'll fix it 10 times better. Bro, some of these balls reached up to 136 miles per hour. They caused $74,000 in damages to broken windows and dented cars, and they even found some of the balls after miles away. And despite the need for a hefty cleanup, the locals loved it. And apparently, till this day, some of them say that they still find an odd rubber ball somewhere in a gutter every now and again. Unsurprisingly, it quickly became one of the most popular television commercials of the 2000s. It won multiple awards, and it helped Sony bounce back after falling profits. And I guess you know an ad is successful when we're still talking about it 20 years later.
Damn, one day, huh?
To a major recall of several soaps and skincare products, it's because of concerns of bacteria contamination that could lead to life-threatening illnesses. Dermarite, which creates products for healthcare facilities, is voluntarily recalling 4 items, including over-the-counter skin cleansers and an anti-itch lotion. The company says if you are healthy, the products may cause localized infections, but if you are immunocompromised, they could lead to, quote, serious and life-threatening infections. Dermarite says it has not received any reports of adverse reactions to these products.
I was like, well, if you want me to be honest, I know you've never allowed cameras in here, but I think the world should see this.
How did you get them to allow you to film and then post the video?
Yes. So as you know, they're very strict and secretive about it all. So I actually, I didn't even know anything about it other than whisperings from various zoo people and things like that. And then the Ambani family contacted me and said, we'd like to invite you. And I went, probably similar to what happened to you, I imagine. And I just went and walked around it. Then I had a meeting with Anat, and he said, what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know if you met with him, but
he wasn't there when.
Unfortunate.
I got to speak with him on the phone, and
super cool guy. But he just said to me, you work in conservation and animals. What do you think? And I was very blunt. I was like, here are the things that are wonderful. Here are the things that could use improvement. Blah blah blah. And he's like, okay. What else do you think? I was like, well, if you want me to be honest, I know you've never allowed cameras in here, but I think the world should see this. It's such an incredible place. It's so noble. It's so beautiful. You're doing such an amazing thing for wildlife and for conservation. You're literally writing the playbook on how to manage animals in captivity moving forward into the future. And he's like, okay, do it. And I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
He's like, if you want to bring your team and film and put it out there, run it by my team. But if you want to do it, do it.
Wow.
I know who you are. I know the kind of stories you tell. He's like, if you want to do it, do it. No holds barred. Tell any story you want, go for it. And we did. And it was awesome.
This is no coincidence. The sky looks like that. Just had 80-mile-per-hour winds. Y'all think it's a game. Look at that. That is a war. Don't be fooled, people. This is a war going on. Y'all let it be. Oh, that's so pretty. Nah, it's a war going on right above your heads, and it starts underwater. Why you think they want to cover it? Y'all crazy if y'all let these people fool y'all, man. I know what's happening. God body.
Where did Netanyahu go to school, bro?
Where did Netanyahu go?
To school. To college.
What?
Told you, bro.
He went to MIT
Yes, bro, he
and
was
Harvard?
trained. You wanted something crazy? You mentioned Kim Jong-un, right? Kim Jong-un was educated in Switzerland. Pull it up.
What?
All the dictators were educated in the West, bro.
Kim Jong-un was educated in Switzerland?
Now you tell me how sick it is that they went to Western nations, they saw how capitalism works and everything, and these guys are dictators and murderers, bro.
Why is that?
Taught in the West, bro. Am I not an encyclopedia myself, son? Admit it, bro!
Eventually happen.
In 1859, a man in San Francisco named Joshua Norton declared himself the Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. He would walk the streets of San Fran in full uniform and take note of the condition of the sidewalks and construction zones. He would then inform the police and the newspapers of all of his findings and then be on his way. He also issued various decrees, including dismissing the governor of Virginia for hanging the abolitionist John Brown and dissolving the entire United States, which he was the emperor of. The people in San Francisco would actually go along with it and seemed to really like the eccentric Emperor Norton. He printed his own money, which the people of San Francisco accepted as real money. He was also given free meals and free drinks pretty much anywhere he went. Mark Twain, who lived in San Francisco during Emperor Norton's reign, was fascinated by him and even based the character of the king in Huckleberry Finn on Emperor Norton. When he died in 1880, an estimated 10,000 people showed up to his funeral.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Y'all know what to do. You made it this far. Do your thing, y'all. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe, y'all. We're on the road to 100,000. We got a ways to go. We'll get there one day, y'all. Got to crawl before you walk, right? Nothing really going on today. Parking lot sales going on at Harbor Freight. I don't really need nothing, but I might go walk around, just check out what they got over there, see what's on, on sale. I'll probably come home with something, right? It's like a woman going to Target. They're coming home with $300 worth of stuff. Now, I might not be coming home with $300 worth of stuff, but I might be coming home with some new sockets or something. But anyways, y'all, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.